Well, we love featuring artists you should know about, and today we're heading to South Dakota to chat with singer-songwriter Kenny Feidler. Kenny and the Cowboy Killers were in Sheridan a few months ago, and they're coming back. They're going to be back Thursday night at WyoJam. They're opening for Jared Neiman. Go to WyoJam.com and get your tickets now. We're excited to have Kenny Feidler back on the show. First, Kenny, thanks so much for calling in.
Oh, of course. Thanks for having me.
Wow. You have been very busy. We were just talking before we came on. Summer tour, how's it been going?
It's going good. It feels like we're doing a little less miles than we did last year, but just as busy. So it's been a nice July so far.
Yeah. Well, and you got some new management. I think it's helping out. You were on like a Texas music scene. You've been all over doing press.
Oh, yeah. Yep, our manager, Jay, we have a really good team. Our booking agent and manager and our tour manager, we're all pretty invested and work really hard at getting the word out for shows. It's a big deal just to get people to know when we're coming to town. Yeah, well, it's funny, on the Texas music scene TV show, they called you a Wyoming cowboy, which I thought was kind of funny. Yeah. I don't know how that one slipped by, but it's okay. I'll claim it. I'm friends with plenty of Wyoming cowboys that if you're going to be put somewhere else, that's a good spot to be.
Well, exactly. I was like, well, maybe it's the Chris LeDoux influence or something. Or
I think that's what it was, yeah.
But it was interesting. You said on there that you said you thought you needed to be in the Texas music scene.
Yeah. For a while there, when you're kind of coming up, you think you need to be live somewhere physically. I mean, there's guys that go to Nashville, they think they need to live there to do it, or Texas, and I'm really really happy that we live here in South Dakota, and we spend a lot of time in Wyoming, and we're really proud to be a part of this scene up here, and we get to go and do runs through all those other parts of the country, and I'm proud to be from up here, and some of my favorite songwriters and bands are out of this area. So
yeah, you just might have to drive a few extra miles, but anymore you can pretty much be anywhere.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth it, and we make quick trips of our weekends. We don't stay out, so we get down to places. We'll go to Texas or Oklahoma and come home the night of, and we don't miss a whole lot of time at home, and yeah, it works really good for us.
Yeah, Kenny's got a couple little kids at home, so he likes to be at home as much as he can. But
yeah,
before, when you were on, we talked about your past. You grew up in Baltimore. You went to college out in Oklahoma. You were a rodeo. You were influenced. Somebody gave you the Chris LeDoux live album. That was a huge influence on your life. You even wrote at Chris LeDoux Days, which Chris LeDoux Days was just a couple weeks ago. I can't remember. Have you met Ned or any of the family?
I actually played. We played a show with Ned in Sturgis the night before Chris LeDoux Days.
Oh wow! So, this year?
But yeah, yep. They're great, and I've met Ned before, but hopefully we get to do some more shows with him, and it's a great bunch of guys. His whole band. I mean, it's mostly Chris's band that's with Ned, and they're all really great people to be around, and super nice people.
Yeah, because how was that? I saw that you were at Sturgis. I think you were at Kickstands.
Yep.
Because how was that when Sturgis isn't going on?
Oh, it's great. We've done Kickstands has been a great venue for us. We do ticketed shows there off. I call whenever rally's not going on off season, but we do shows over there, and I actually prefer it doing shows off off rally. We do our own ticketed thing, and it's about as hometown as it gets for us. I'm just about 30 minutes from Sturgis, and they do really good. They work hard to have touring bands in there, like our friends Callan Smith and Ronnie and the Redwoods, like frequent there. So it's a great spot.
Yeah, it's probably a lot easier to get in and out of there when it's off season.
Oh yeah. A little less noise, and it's just it gives us a chance to do something fairly hometown.
Yeah, well, and Chris LeDoux, I mean, he beat the streets for years until he finally got the Garth Brooks rub. Man, that's what you need, Kenny. You need a little rub from, you know.
I'm satisfied with what we have. If we can just keep making music that we really like and keep kicking songs out, and it's been going great. My band's making a living. I make a living. Like it's good as it is. I'd love to hop on some runs with some bigger guys and go get in front of some new crowds. But that's about my wish list right now. It's just to go out and do some support. And so like even Thursday, we're doing a support spot opening for Jared Neiman. So it's just good to get out in front of other people.
Well, yeah, for sure. And I think even on the Texas TV, the music scene TV show, they said they heard about you from somebody. So you never know.
Yeah. No, it's little moves and slow burn, and I'm quite happy with where we're at and the direction we're going. We're just on a steady incline and to kind of check off things that we really wanted to do as a band, and prouder than ever of the music that we're making. And it's a really good spot to be in.
Yeah, he's moving on up. It's looking good for Kenny. Kenny Feidler, go check him out, kennyfeidler.com. It's Feidler. He's on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. His brand new single, In the Blood, is out now. And just like Kenny said, you can see him Thursday night at Wyo Jam. He's opening for Jared Neiman. Go to wyojam.com and get your tickets now. Well, and I like your music, Kenny, because you mentioned it. It's like dark country music. It's real stuff. I mean, you say you're a happy guy, but I mean, you got a lot of stuff coming out of you.
Yeah, and even the older I get, I just you spend a lot more time crafting songs and really get very critical of what you write, and it's just like this latest single we put out, In the Blood, is about my father-in-law. He passed away in a horse wreck in February, and it was just one of those like hard-hitting things that just it's very real to me and my family, and so I try to write stuff from a pretty true spot, and I'm really proud of the music we make, and the live, it's not all doom and gloom in our live show. It's pretty rock and roll and pretty fast paced. So I really like what we do. I'm really lucky to kind of just have my own say in what we're making and putting out there.
Yeah, no, I love it. Even, I mean, any music that has emotion, I'm drawn to it. And even there's Tanner Usray. Have you heard of him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love his stuff. We play him all the time. I've had him on the show a couple of times, and it's real. It's emotional. I think you're the same way.
Well, thank you. Yeah. There's a lot of I mean, Tanner's done really well, and there's a lot of folks out there that haven't even kind of broken into popular view, or listenership that are putting some great stuff out there. So it's a good time for independent artists to be going. Oh yeah, I mean, it's wide open out there, and you guys are breaking in, which is even better right now. But I mean, well, holy cow! I'm looking at your stuff, and you're playing a show in Nashville, like in 10 days. Yep. Yeah. Well, so we have we just have Wyo Jam this weekend, and we have to go out to Salt Lake for a private thing, and then next week we'll go to Paul Husk, Oklahoma for Cavalcade Rodeo, and then go to Nashville for a day or two, and then I think we go out to Montana after that, and Idaho. So we stay pretty busy. This time of year gets fairly hectic, but it's a couple shows a week, and we get out and come back, and stay pretty fresh doing it that way. It doesn't really get old. We're not living by the truck stop on the regular. So it's nice to kind of do those shows, and we'll get home and have a couple days with our families, and go back out with a fresh head and get after it.
Is this the first time you played in Nashville?
Yeah. Yep, it's the first one. And it's a ticketed show, and our lead guitar player, Sheldon, he's actually a singer-songwriter on his own and had his own band in Idaho before he joined our band. And so Casey's gonna open that one for us, and he opens a lot of shows for us, and so it's kind of neat that get to share that bill with my bandmate.
Yeah, and Casey's a talented guy, because does he sit in with Kellen?
Yep, he'll sit in with Kellen sometimes, and Phil, our steel player Matt Klein, he'll jump in with Kellen every once in a while, and whenever it works. And yeah, and we're going out to Colorado here and doing a couple out there, I think in the end of July or August, with Kellen. So we get to do quite a bit with him too. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, he plays quite a few shows with Kellen. But you can see Kenny Thursday night at WYO Jam, downtown Sheridan. Go to wyojam.com. He's playing at 9 o'clock, so make sure you get there early. He's opening for Jared Neiman Thursday night at WYO Jam. Go to wyojam.com and get your tickets now. What was the last tattoo you got, Kenny?
Last tattoo? I think I got a like a bronc head on my hand. Down in Arizona was the last one I got. So
has it been a while, or was it recent?
Maybe last winter.
Okay, because I was looking at you. I was like, man, I didn't realize Kenny had so many tattoos.
Yeah, I get a couple. I have one guy at Arizona Classic Tattoo in Phoenix that he's my friend, and every time we go down there, I snag one. But yeah, stacking them up, I guess.
The wife goes, "Oh man, he's going to Arizona again. Watch out."
Yeah. Well, yeah, she's normally jealous that she can't be there to get one too. But yeah, no. Whenever we go down, that's kind of my yearly thing when we go down that way.
Yeah. Well, In the Blood, the new single. When you came on last time, you were working on it. You kind of told us a little bit about it, but your father-in-law Scott passed away in a horse accident in Wickenburg, which that had to be awful. How hard was it writing this song?
It is like a very different one for me, just because just kind of the weight that it carries, and it just kind of struck me in the week or two leading up to the funeral, and so I wrote it for that. And I just wrote it and then showed it to my wife and my mother-in-law and my brother-in-laws, and Casey and I played it at Scott's funeral, and then we just kind of tossed around the idea of just putting it out there because it's a really meaningful song to my family, and it was one of those songs that it doesn't really matter if anybody else really digs it or it gets blows up. There's not a big marketing push behind it. You just put it out, but yeah, really proud of that one.
Oh, it's a great song. You're going to hear it here in a minute. How hard was it playing that at his funeral?
Yeah, it was pretty tough. It's an emotional time, whether you're playing or not, so, but we got done. Had my youngest boy went up there and sat up there with Casey and I when we played it. And whenever your kids are around, whenever stuff's like that, it kind of makes it a little easier to get by. So, yeah, it was just it was very meaningful, and really proud to do it.
Yeah, because, you guys had to be close, because isn't your wife from South Dakota?
Yeah, my wife's from Phillip originally, and and we've been together for over 10 years. Yeah, we'll be married for 10 years this August, and then we've been together longer than that for years before. So yeah, Scott and I were very close, and we miss him. So miss him being here for his grandkids, and it's tough stuff. With family ranches, and someone passes away, no matter what the circumstance, like there is a void there whenever you go in that place. So and it's it gets heavy sometimes, but yeah, we miss him a lot.
Yeah, it's a great song, and you did one hell of a tribute to him. In the Blood, you're going to hear it here in a minute. But yeah, you mentioned some of it. Iowa, Nashville. You're playing at the Black Sheep in Colorado Springs, which is like a legendary rock place, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. We've actually played. So we played Black Sheep. We played Black Sheep before with our own show. And I think we had Kate Hoffman on it, and we played Vultures, which is the sister club to it next door. And we've done this quite a bit. And this time, I'm a really big Lucero fan, and I'm just going to go down. Ben Nichols, the frontman of Lucero, is doing he does an acoustic solo tour. They just go out on motorcycles, and it's called the Bike Riders Tour. And so I'm going to go down there and open for Ben. It's just a solo acoustic show, so that's pretty cool to get a shot to do that for someone that you admire, and been a big influence in your music.
Yeah, Ben Nichols and host Oliver Peck. It's the Bike Riders Tour at the Black Sheep. It's August 9th if you're down in Colorado Springs area. And special guest Kenny Feidler. So it's just you and the acoustic guitar that night. Yep.
And that's what Ben's doing. So normally when you're support, I'll take my band any chance I get. But normally if the main act is acoustic, then that's what you do support wise. And it'd be cool. I've been digging into some stuff and reworking some things just so it fits without the band, and that'll be neat. And after that, we run up to. I'm going to run down there solo, maybe Casey and I, and then we play in Ekalaka, Montana, the next night. So we'll jet up there and meet up with the band and play the Days of '85 rodeo in Ekalaka.
Wow! I saw one date. You said you drove all night. I mean, that's going to be a haul from Colorado Springs up to Montana.
It really doesn't feel like it anymore. I mean, we just drive such long distances, and I'm just so used to it that it just feels kind of part of the thing. If it's under 8 hours, it feels like a breeze, and if it's over, it kind of just feels like business as usual, really. So
that's living out west. Yeah, people out east listening to this are going, "Oh my God, 8 hours in the car!" They're freaking out.
Yeah, no, that's kind of just the usual thing, and I'm lucky my band is down to do those kind of legs. I mean, I don't want to brag on my band, but it takes a certain level of just a little bit of toughness to do.
Oh yeah,
runs like that, and nothing against it, but a lot of bands stay out, and they'll stay out for a month at a time. But sometimes you're staying out for days to beat the drive, and then you're spending money out on the road and killing time, and then it just makes it a little bit more weary feeling, I think, when you stay out very long, real long. And we're not in a bus, and we have very, very low overhead, and it doesn't take much to. Fuel costs money, but it's worth it to get home. And it seems like with the van, we're fairly nimble. We can run down to a spot and get back, and it's kind of nice. I really prefer it, and I know my guys do too.
Yeah, it's kind of nice after you do the long haul. You can at least go sleep in your own bed for a few days before
we're home pretty much every Sunday. No matter where we're playing.
That's nice. I lived in Madison, Wisconsin for a couple of years. You're playing a show at Wisconsin Dells, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, that'll be our first time doing Showboat Saloon. That's our first time going there. We kind of been pushing out that way a little bit this year. Some Iowa stuff in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Indiana. I think in the later in the fall we'll be going out with Josh Malloy to Indianapolis and Grand Rapids, Michigan. So yeah, we're trying to push out a little farther. It's a little bit more of a hump to get over. Heading east and trying to make sure it makes sense financially. To make money, but also still get in front of new people. So it's nice to hop on some tour support and go and open up for somebody out. The farther east or west you go, we do quite a bit of West Coast stuff. So yeah, I guess the east is the last one to kind of get after.
Yeah, well, you mentioned it before we came on the air. It's been kind of a slow burn, but man, you're starting to burn, Kenny. Can you feel momentum happening?
Yeah, it's a weird thing when you're, an independent band, and I do have a really good team, but it's like a team of 2 or 3 other people. It's not like it's a big company. Our team works really hard. There's always more that feels like you should be doing, but at the end of the day, like we're thriving as a band, and the music's getting better. The shows are getting even cooler, and we keep getting these little feathers in the hat every once in a while that feel really good and are really validating. Get to do some cool things. For something that was never really the game plan in the first place. Like, we're really fortunate for all the opportunities that we've been getting, and it's a pretty fun way to make a living, and it sure beats a lot of other things I've done. So, I just have, I love getting to play with my band, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, whatever he's doing, it's working. So stick on it. What's your favorite Chris LeDoux song?
Ooh, I really like all of some of the older kind of rougher sounding things, because those were the ones that were really influential, like them Bareback Horses, because it was just all rodeo songs for me when I was in high school. So anything that got closer in the vein to the real stuff, the talking about things that most people probably don't relate with. Those were the songs of Chris's that really got me kind of going. Yeah. It was just it's like kind of roadmap stuff for a kid that had no information on how to get into rodeo.
Yeah. Do we do any Chris LeDoux covers?
I don't. I don't really do any covers, really. I have in the past.
Yeah, start now.
I just kind of drew a hard line with that, with doing many. I mean, every once in a while I'll do something. If it's, we normally play fairly long shows. We'll normally do a 2-hour show if we're headlining, and I'll pick one or two songs that at the time maybe feeling it, but yeah, I might have to work up a Chris LeDoux cover one of these days. It'd be kind of neat. Yeah,
you need a deep cut Chris LeDough cover that nobody would really know unless you're a big Chris LeDough fan. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I might have to look into that. And, I'll put it on my to-do list.
Yeah, well, go and check Kenny out. Thursday night he's going to be at Wild Jam, downtown Sheldon. Go to wildjam.com. Get there early because he starts at 9 o'clock. You can go check him out, kennyfeidler.com. Bloodshot, his latest album, is out now. And In the Blood, his latest single, is also out now. Well, Kenny, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks so much, Jeff. I really appreciate it. And, we hope to see you all at Wild Jam on Thursday night.
Yeah, we'll see him Thursday night at Wild Jam. Here's In the Blood. It's Kenny Feidler. KIX 96.5.